Hi, you guys. Okay, Bridgerton, Season 1, Episode 4. Daphne and Lady Bridgerton is at the Queen's Court. And Lady Bridgerton is kind of hungry, so she goes picking at the food. And Daphne gets embarrassed by it, and she says, "Mother." Lady Bridgerton's asked Daphne, "Are you okay? You seem a little strained, and you've been that way for a few days now." It's the Duke, y'all. Y'all know how that be. And Lady Bridgerton knows deep down that Daphne and the Duke should be together. However, her daughter has to do what she has to do because the Duke won't stand up. He's still, "I'm not getting married. Daphne tells her mother, "Look, I got a lot on my mind." Dun da da da. Introducing Queen Charlotte and her esteemed nephew, Prince Friedrich of Prussia. Prince Friedrich says to Daphne, "I'm so blessed that you accept my invitation to the palace." The queen says to him, "Give her your gift." And Prince Friedrich brought Daphne a beautiful necklace, and he puts it on her neck. And as he's putting her necklace on, his touch reminds Daphne of the Duke. "This ain't gonna work, Daphne. This is not gonna work." The prince asks Miss Bridgerton, "Is everything okay?" And she said, "Yes, the necklace is lovely. Thank you." Queen Charlotte talking about she'll make a lovely princess. Y'all, I don't know what y'all think, but this is not going to work. Lady Whistledown writes, "To marry above one's station is an art indeed. But Miss Bridgerton's advancement from future duchess to possible princess is an achievement that I didn't even see coming." We see Daphne's shadow, her little sister Hyacinth. Boom, I got it. Give it up for me. I hope I'm saying it right. But y'all know I didn't know her name. Hyacinth. Hyacinth is an actual flower, type of flower. I didn't know that. I never had a hyacinth. Hyacinth is nagging Daphne about her engagement towards the prince. Daphne said, "We're not even engaged yet. Calm down." She said, "Would you have to learn Prussia?" Daphne said, "Actually, it will be German." She asked Daphne, "Will you be moving to a castle?" She's so sweet. She's just living vicariously through her sister. And Daphne is not trying to put that much into it because she know that this is not what she wants. She doesn't want the prince. Lady Whistledown continues, "I'm not writing the Duke off so soon. He may have let the diamond slip from his fingers for now, but he's not the type to back down from a fight." Shady. I think she's speaking of when the Duke was fighting Lord Burbert. Here goes the Duke. He's down at the boxing gym, taking his frustration out on that boxing bag. And he gonna tell his friend that he won't be able to be there for his friend's most important match today because he's leaving London. Will said, "You know, all your wealthy friends won't bet on me if you're not there. And this is the biggest match of my career. I implore you not to miss this." Will's wife said, "After your fight today, beat your great self-pity. Only thing that he wants to miss is Miss Bridgerton and that prince. We need to feed our children. We need you to help put money in everyone's pockets today." What? You know you don't like me for my subtlety. Okay, over at the Feathertons, Marina is getting surveyed by an old man. And Marina's like, "What are you doing? Out of all the suitors, why are you trying to put me with this old man? I do not want him." Lady Featherton said, "All your suitors are young. And this old man will not question when that baby starts to grow and it comes out healthy less than 9 months. And that old man will not question it." Lady Featherton done had enough, and she asked her husband, "Why can't we just send her back?" Her husband said, "We just can't." I wonder the reason why he can't just send her back. A suitor has arrived, and Lady Featherton said, "I'm sorry, Miss Thompson is not receiving any more callers today." And Mr. Flinch said, "Well, that's quite all right. I'm here for Miss Philippa Featherton." Lady Featherton is surprised. She like, "Oh, okay. That's so nice. Go on, Philippa." Eloise is nagging about women adoring themselves with feathers while looking for a man, giving more meaning to being a bird. Now that was funny, Eloise. Penelope asks, "Is the prince and Daphne courting? I know you can't wait for the engagement." Eloise said, Daphne can stay on the shelf forever, as far as I'm concerned, because once she's married, I'm next up. Why is marriage my only option? What if I want to fly? But you know who's flying? Lady Whistledown. She's a brilliant businesswoman, a woman who fooled the whole ton while getting rich. Independent. Surely she isn't at the balls every night praying that a man will marry her. You know what? We need to meet her. We're the two most clever girls in the tongue. We can find her. Penelope said, well, I would if I can get out all my events this week. And I have to be there to help Marina recover. But you go on ahead. I'm going to cheer you on. Okay, it's the day of the big fight. Anthony brings Daphne to meet the prince. And the prince tells Daphne, like, I'm so glad you came because most women, they can't deal with the brutality of a fight. Daphne tells the prince, well, you must don't have any sisters because I'm definitely down for it. Daphne looks over and she spots the Duke. Oh my goodness, awkward. Now, the Duke is over there taking bets for his friend who's fighting Will. And he can't even concentrate because he spotted the prince and Daphne. Will is trying to sell himself as in place your bet on me. And he's like, ain't that right, Hastings? The Duke is like, huh? Yeah. He turned back over towards Daphne and him and Daphne makes eye contact. So now they see each other. Okay, the fight has begun. And mind you, this is Will, Hastings' friend, and his opponent is the prince guy. So right there, that's awkward within itself. You have the prince going for his guy, and then you have the Duke rooting for his guy. And you know it's real extra because both of them got something in them because of Daphne. And Daphne is sitting up here gazing at the Duke. She is watching his body as he rolling up his sleeve, watching the muscles. I mean, like, wouldn't you? Shit. Daphne must have got all hot inside because she had to turn to the prince and start a conversation to distract herself. And the prince is saying everything that Daphne wants. He has a strong desire to have a family and children. And, you know, this is everything that Daphne wants. But not with him. Don't you hate when that happens? The fight is getting good. And the prince man is starting to win. And Daphne, she is jumping up, cheering him on. And we see Hastings over there. Yeah, go, Will, go, Will. And Will just got this energy and he beat the shit out that man. Lord Featherington again made a wrong decision in gambling. And we have the Duke. He's staring at Daphne, who's appearing to be having a good time, enjoying herself. Down at the casino, we see Lord Featherington telling the guys that, look, I'm going to get y'all money. Sure as my name is Featherington, y'all going to have y'all money. Just give me some time. And Colin, he runs into Henry, the artist that he made a fool of himself in front of at the art gallery the other day. And he asked Colin his opinion on different paintings. And Colin was giving his opinion. And he said, so where's your painting? And Colin like, no, I don't have one. He like, look, you talk a lot of shit. Here's my card. Come down there sometime. Anthony tells the Duke that, you know, your intentions with Daphne was good. And I thank you for that. And perhaps we can laugh over this one day. And I know you leaving. You la-da-dee, la-da-da. Here come the prince. Come on, asking Anthony, can I talk to you for a minute? And the look that the Duke was giving the prince was hilarious. Over at the Bridgertons, Lady Bridgerton is nagging that Daphne went to a boxing match with her brother today. And Hyacinth asks what I would have asked. What about the Duke? Both Lady Bridgerton and Daphne said, well, what about him? And she said, well, was he there? Daphne said, I don't know. I didn't see him. She pulled a Mariah Carey. I don't know you. That's something I would have done. Anthony come busting through the door and he like, look, the prince want to marry you, but I know better to answer for you. It's your choice, whatever you decide, Daph. Daphne is like, Lady Bridgerton steps in because she knows that's not where Daphne's heart is. And she said, you need not to decide right now. It is way too soon. Daphne is getting ready for tonight's ball and she's putting on the necklace that the prince had brought her. Lady Bridgerton said, that is a lovely necklace, but do you really like it? Daphne is like, come on, Mom. If you have something to say, just say it. Lady Bridgerton said, well, all I'm saying is, what would the Duke think if you wearing that man's necklace tonight? And Daphne said, look, well, I'm not thinking about the Duke. Lady Bridgerton asked, what happened between you and the Duke? I know what I saw, and I know my daughter, and it wasn't just nothing. The way you two look at each other, Daphne tells her mother, Mama, it was just a ruse. We planned it. The Duke and I planned it. We fooled everyone. It worked. I'm going to be marrying the prince, and everyone is going to be happy. Lady Bridgerton said, I didn't want you to marry in rank. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me was your happiness. Daphne said, I'm sorry, Mama. It was all a lie. Not all a lie, Daphne, because you wouldn't be crying right now. Lady Downtree says to the Duke, I'm going to miss you. Will you tell me where you're going this time? I'm sure you're going to find yourself in the corner of the world somewhere, in a corner, doing what you do, taking everything for granted. And I didn't raise you that way. You let that girl slip right out of your hand. I understand that you take things like love and devotions as cliche. However, need I remind you that that is exactly what brought a new day to this society. Look at our king and queen. Their love is the reason that we exist in this society. We were once divided by color until they fell in love. Love conquers all. The Duke said, I haven't seen it that way. The king may have chose the queen, and it may have elevated us from novelties to dukes and royalty. But the king can easily change his mind, and we all know how loose that is. So I'm sorry, Lady Downtree. I disagree. Love changes nothing. I'll write you. Lady Whistledown writes, y'all know it's nothing more than I love than a scandal. Tonight's Suave promises more than its fair share, courtesy of the newly widowed lady. Most would say that her balls are too provocative, and I caution any lady not to get caught up, because a scandalous move from a couple, a touch, and let's not mention a kiss, can put a lady in ruins. And we see Lady Featherington pushing Cousin Marina on that old creepy man. He talking about he don't need to listen to her talk. He just need to watch her move. Mr. Flinch, who seems to have some type of allergy, keeps sneezing. He goes over to Philippa and he says, oh my goodness, he was admiring her dress, talking about it's the same shade of cheese that her mother served on tea that afternoon. Well, the one thing you could say about Lady Featherington is she's fashion forward with these colors and these bold prints. But I like it. So they're over there conversing about cheese. Lady Featherington said, my lord, perhaps we'll have 2 weddings this season. And Lord Featherington said, probably not. Cressida comes over to Daphne and she says, you had all the men at your disposal, and you didn't hesitate to steal mine. I knew that the marriage market would make us rivals, but enemies? Daphne said, the man made his choice. What did you expect? And Daphne walks over to the prince and he asks, can he have her, at least 2 dances with her today? So he puts his name on her dance list. I was wondering what that tag was that she had around her wrist, looking like I got a bride for sale. And Lady Bridgerton over there guzzling down that champagne like, look at this shit here. She knows it's going to be a long night. Okay, the Duke seemed to have been packing up stuff, getting everything in order to leave. And he sees the painting from the gallery that he donated. And he asks his butler, like, what is this doing back here? It was supposed to be at the Somerset House. He said, well, what you forgot, you had requested to have this returned, and it wasn't no small price. The Duke done forgot that he done had that spiritual connection in that damn art gallery that he done said, I want this damn painting back. Daphne did bring life to the painting with her spoken words, which may have gave it more sentimental value to it for the Duke because it was his mother's favorite painting as well. Benedict goes on down to Henry's address that he gave him. Inside is a whole art studio. Benedict is like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. Henry shows Benedict what he's been working on, and Benedict said, this is a far cry from the Somerset House. I think because it's more explicit, you wouldn't see it inside that setting in high society. Benedict is impressed and he's like, "You do this? This is your life for real?" Henry said, "Second sons have fun. Go have some." Benedict is getting his life. And maybe as a creative, that's what he needed to get outside of his comfort zone to become creative. Because we can see that he can draw and he has a good eye for art. So maybe this is exactly what he needs. Back at Lady Trowbridge ball, why the fuck Sienna is singing? Out of all the balls, she have to sing at this provocative one. So she have on like a leotard. And, that's a stretch. As she's singing, Anthony looking like, hold the fuck up, I know that voice. And he looks over and he sees Sienna doing what the fuck she gotta do. Because, she has to, right? Lady Bridgerton peeps Anthony looking at her, so she tried to introduce Anthony to another lady, and Anthony is paying that no mind. He wants Sienna. Lady Bridgerton is like, these kids is going to drive me crazy. Philippa comes over to Lady Bridgerton and she is just sobbing. And she said, Mr. Flinch won't look me in the eyes. And I don't understand. Lady Featherington goes over to her husband and she asks him, what have you said to Mr. Flinch? He's not a lord, but he's right for Philippa. Lord Featherington said, look, she can wait next season. All three of them can wait for next season. And I will advise you not to embarrass me any further. Okay, back at the house, Eloise just made an ass out of herself. She went down to her maid lady's room, going through her stuff. She's doing this investigation of finding Lady Whistledown. Her maid lady asked her, what are you doing in my things? Your mother did not tell you to come down here. Eloise said, you know what, you're right. But I'm thinking that you're Lady Whistledown. The maid lady found this so hilarious. She said, you really think with all the things that I have going on that I have time to write gossip? The maid lady said, you're not meant to be the smart one. If you think any servant with all the things that we have going on have time for that, you're crazy. Do you think that I would work for you if I had all the money Lady Whistledown have? Eloise is like, yeah, you're right. Back at the ball, Colin comes over to Penelope and she mentions that Lady Trowbridge footman looks like her newborn baby, who is supposed to be by her dead husband. Colin said, barbaric, Penelope. Colin tells Penelope, look, I've been trying to get at Morena all night. Surely she does not want to be with that old man. Penelope said, what she's in need of is a quick rescue. Colin said, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And Penelope was trying to stop him like, no, Colin. Daphne is dancing with the prince and he is expressing his feelings for Daphne. And she sees the Duke. And now she's hyperventilating. And yet again, he sounds like womp, 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 womp. The prince said, what I'm trying to ask you, Miss Bridgerton. And she cuts him off. She said, I need a moment to refresh myself, Your Highness. This is that shit when you see your ex and you wasn't expecting it and it's real awkward and you don't know the feelings that's going through your body. Daphne runs outside. She snatches the necklace off her neck. I think she's thinking about what her mother said. How would the Duke feel seeing you with that guy's necklace around your neck? And here come the damn Duke talk about, Daphne, I just came to say goodbye. Daphne said, why? You made it clear that we wasn't friends. What you're not going to do is put me on an emotional roller coaster. You're not sorry, and your apology has no effect on my life. I'm going to marry the prince, and I'll be happy. The Duke said, for real? Happy? He's going to be the one who give it to you? Daphne said, why wouldn't I be? The prince is kind, adoring, and he knows what he wants. He'll make a great father. How dare you question my choices? I don't question you raking yourself across the country. You know what? I'm not going to explain myself. He's perfect. And I'm going to be a princess, damn it. You know what? I don't have time for this. And Daphne storms off. The Duke runs after her, yelling her name. Daphne, Daphne. It's not safe for you to be out here. And he grabs Daphne by the arm. And Daphne like that shit. And they get to kissing. The Duke pulls back, he apologizes, and Daphne kisses him again. And they're smooching and rubbing on each other. And Anthony comes running down on them, and he attacks the dude, punching him in the face. Anthony says to the dude, "You're going to marry her immediately. Hopefully no one else seen y'all, but y'all going to get married." The Duke said, "I cannot." And Daphne is looking like, huh? Anthony says, "So let me get this right. You took her innocence and now you deny her hand? Hastings, I knew you for a rape, but not a villain. Now you leave me no choice. We gonna have to have a duel. Fuck that shit. You dishonored my sister, and now my family name. We still settle this like gentlemen." And Daphne is stuck on, "I cannot." She asked the Duke, "You would rather die than marry me?" The Duke said, "I'm truly sorry. The Duke is giving me a goddamn headache. What do you want from Daphne? What? You basically pushed her into the prince's arms, and now you are here. Why?" Daphne and Anthony come back into the ball, and Cressida comes up to Daphne and said, "Daphne, are you okay? Did you get a chill in the garden?" So right here, I see that Cressida seen something. Anthony takes Daphne home. Lady Whistledown got her scandal. At the art studio, Benedict is being his own worst critic. And Henry told him that his work has potential. And Benedict said, "Oh, it's nothing." And Henry tells him, like, "Look, there's no expectation or judgment here. You left all that back in Mayfair. Take the compliment. Feel free to be yourself here." That's what I do. And I haven't been dissatisfied with my work in quite some time. Benedict said, "I enjoyed myself a bit this evening." Henry said, "Okay, but just know that you can come back anytime you want." Lady Featherington is in her husband's office trying to find out what exactly is going on. What she's looking for, she is not exactly sure. However, she's thinking about, okay, Cousin Marina couldn't go back. She said, I tolerated that. Now you saying that Philippa can't get married. That's unacceptable. She senses something is going on, and she's going to find out today. Cousin Marina is going on and on about Colin to Penelope about how kind he is, how he rescued her, and how he'll be a great father. Penelope said, "Don't you think he's a bit too young?" And Cousin Marina said, "He's not like the rest of these young guys. He's eager. I believe he's going to propose soon, and I won't have to marry that old man. And Pen, if we get married, and you and Eloise being best friends, it'll be like we're all sisters." And Penelope is not trying to hear that shit because she has a soft spot for Colin. It could be anybody else, and she probably would be for it. But because it's Colin, it's like, no, girl. In the midst of that, Eloise came tapping on Penelope's window. Penelope comes down, and Eloise is talking about who may or may not be Lady Whistledown. And Penelope is like, "Look, not today, Eloise. People over this motherfucker got problems, real problems. That has nothing to do with finding Lady Whistledown." Eloise said, "Oh, you mature now." And Penelope said, "Yes, I'm out in society on this marriage marker, girl." And Eloise said, "So when did you start to care about that? You don't care about that." And Penelope said, "Well, I do. And I cannot expect you to understand that. Not everyone can be a pretty Bridgerton." Colin messed Penelope head up. She likes him. She wants him to look at her like a lady, somebody that he can court. But he doesn't see her like that. He sees her as little old Penelope from across the square. Penelope and Eloise has a lot in common. She also, I think, is a modern day woman, but she wants her place in society far as she wants her education and to be married. I think she feels, why can't I have both? She had her eyes set on Colin, and that's what she wants. But he don't see that shit, and it's getting on her nerves right now. Anthony drops Daphne off, and he apologizes to her for putting her in that position. And Daphne said, "Well, what position? You don't have to treat me like I'm a child. I'm capable of making my own decisions. You think because I'm a woman that I can't make the choice to take up liberties with him? This is stupid. It's illegal, and you may die. Anthony, you can't do this." Anthony said, "Well, what would you have me to do? He dishonored you in my family's name. I can't let that go, Daphne." Benedict walks in and he's like, "What's going on here?" And Anthony grabs him. He said, "I need you. Good night, Daphne." He briefs Benedict about the plans to do the duel. And Benedict said, so what if you die? And he said, well, you'll take over. And he said, so what if you kill him? He said, well, I'll be on the run and you'll have to take over. And Colin, he brings in Lady Bridgerton, and she is tipsy from all that champagne she was guzzling down because her children was trying to drive her crazy tonight. The Duke then went down to his friend's bar, and he's making noise, so his friend come out like, Dag, I thought you was gone. The Duke said, I gotta have a drink. And he said, you had to come all the way here to get a drink? Will said, well, if you want me to crack open this brandy, you're going to have to tell me what's going on. The Duke tells him about the duel challenge. And Will said, well, look, you need to apologize for whatever you did and move on from that. And the Duke is like, no, it's way past that. So Will said, well, I'm going to have to come with you. Anthony has a lot on his mind, so he goes over to Sienna's house. And Sienna's like, what now? Anthony said, look, I know we can't be together, not in this lifetime, not in this world. But tonight, it's going to be on. I'm going to have to leave, and we can escape to anywhere in the world, and we can be anybody who we choose, and we can be together. Sienna's like, yeah, you keep talking to me about dream shit, and you're holding me up from my goddamn sleep. Good night, Anthony. Anthony said, no, Sienna, I'm going to be in a duel challenge. Sienna said, what? Like a duel? Anthony said, yes, and if I make it through this, we can run away and do what we want. And then he realized for a second at how many broken promises he gave that woman, and then he just walks off. Sienna calls him over, and I'm like, no, girl, no. But she may be feeling something because this may be the last time she sees him. Lord Featherington walks into his office and finds his wife. And his wife said, look, listen, I found everything. I found all your transactions. I know that you've been gambling, and I know that you done sold out daughter's dowries. I know everything. That's why you rejected Mr. Flinch for Philippa. That's why Cousin Marina can't go back home. So the question is not what I know, it's what you're going to do about all this. And Lord Featherington, this fool started crying. He said, I failed you. I failed our daughters. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. And I guess this is just a release for him because he probably has so much on his shoulders right now. Anthony leaves Sienna thinking she's asleep, but she's not. And I wonder what she's thinking. Does she think that, well, why did I even do this shit with him? Or is she thinking this is the last time I'm going to see him? The duel challenge will be starting soon, and Daphne is driving herself crazy. She can no longer take it. She goes down to Colin and like, look, you have to tell me where they at. And Colin is giving her all this bullshit as to why Anthony must do the right thing. And luckily, no one else seen you. And Daphne thought about it. Cressida Cowper seen him. Daphne was so distraught that it didn't dawn on her to now that Cressida was basically saying that she seen her in the garden. So Colin and Daphne is off to the duel. The duel's about to start. Benedict asks the man, well, my brother aim is to wound, so what should he aim for? And the man tell him, you a fool if you think that you can motion a flying bullet to where you want it. The Duke has arrived with Will. Will asks him, are you okay? He said, look, my G, I'm good. So let the challenge begin. They take their positions, they take their steps, turn, and goes to shoot. And Daphne comes galloping in the middle of a duel. It looks like Anthony gun went off first, and he would have killed the Duke. However, he misses, and he does not hit Daphne. Everyone is going crazy, like, oh my God, Daphne, you all right? She like, I'm cool. No thanks to you idiots. Look, I need a moment alone with the Duke. She pulls the Duke to the side. He said, look, I'm not changing my mind. And she said, look, you're going to have to because Cressida Copper, she's seen us. So if not for you, please do it for me. The Duke said, look, if we get married, we can't have children. And that's what you want, don't you? I can't ask you to take that sacrifice for me. So now, please let us continue. And he goes back and they're getting ready to continue. And she said, nope, y'all don't need to do this because the Duke and I will be getting married. And that's where the story ends. I like this episode. The scandal at the ball. And I wonder why the Duke doesn't want kids, because I believe he can have kids. He just don't want them. It's a difference. But we'll see you on the next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.